Hi, my name is Kay. I developed Parkinson's disease at the age of 34. I knew something was wrong with me because my arm was constantly hanging to my side. My little finger was twitching, and I went to the doctor. You know, they gave me cortisone shots. They said you pulled a muscle, and he told me he wanted me to see a Parkinson's specialist. And I asked him, I said, you think I have Parkinson's? And he said, no, that's not what I'm saying. You know, he's a movement disorder specialist. My appointment was at 1:30, and they called me back at 1:30. My husband was with me. I said, I know this is going to be bad. A doctor never sees you on time. When we got in there, he asked me, did I know what was wrong with me? And I told him no. And he said, you have Parkinson's disease. And I looked at him and I said, okay. And then I started crying. I dropped my head and I saw my watch, and it said 1:37. So I've always said it took 7 minutes for Dr. Garrett to change my world as I knew it. When you are diagnosed with a chronic progressive disease that there is no cure for, your whole world stops spinning as your thoughts turn to your family, and you try to imagine what the next 10, 20, 30, or 40 years will bring. I used to be a heavy equipment operator. I certified people on forklifts, and I operated backhoes, trackhoes, end dumps, front-end loaders, and bulldozers. I loved my job. The day I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, it ended my career. And when it came time for me to explain to my little boy what was wrong with Mommy, I wrote a book entitled, Who is PD? Explaining Parkinson's Disease to a Child. When I was diagnosed, I remember hearing the big words like bradykinesia, dyskinesia, rigidity, meds names like carbidopa, levodopa, Azilect, Stalevo. I didn't understand what all those words were, so how could I expect my little boy to understand?
As an outreach coordinator, Kay Jenkins is great to work with because we need patient advocacy, which helps raise awareness to movement disorders. Other treatments or complementary therapies include Tai Chi, yoga. The Wii Fitness has been proven to be so helpful to Parkinson's patients. It is said to deplete the depression level to zero. People feel wonderful when they're using the Wii. They're learning new sports that they did maybe in childhood that they're rediscovering, and it's a safe way to start moving again.
There's 45% on average that have clinical depression. Now, those of us who work in movement disorders believe that there's a lot more. It could be upwards 50 to 75% at times, and that's one of the big things that we look at when we talk to people. Increased stress increases symptoms. It also increases depression. Now, as I said, with the video games, what we found was that it decreased the depression to almost zero, and that was 3 times a week for 4 weeks, playing the games for an hour. Okay? But Parkinson's patients need to definitely go out and do the exercises, do look at that, decrease their stress, and find other new ways of dealing with what's going on symptomatically.
From some experience in working with folks with Parkinson's or movement disorders, I have noticed and experienced how the rhythm and how the music, we can meet them being a live musician, we can meet them where they're at. If they're having really fast shakes or tremors, maybe we could start with some fast music, and during our time in music therapy session, maybe slow the tempo down, slow their body down, gradually decrease their body movements. Just tapping up and down.
I have steady progressed over the last 14 years. I've taken every known Parkinson medication there is. So now I'm facing brain surgery, which is known as DBS. There's good things and there's bad things. I've seen both sides. But I know it's my only choice now. I just wish it could be done in Savannah instead of having to travel all the way to Florida to have it done. I'm just scared about the what ifs, you know, worried about Marty and worried about Colt. If something should go wrong. I know I'm in good hands and they'll take good care of me and everything will be fine, but you still have to. I wonder if I told him enough if I loved him.
The year backwards again, start from December and go back to January.
December, November, October, September.
We're just still testing, so we finished the mapping and we like the map that we made. So we've selected the place where we want to put the final electrode that's going to stay in there and stimulate her brain. And so we're just getting ready to put that DBS electrode in, and then we'll plug it in and turn it on and test it, see how she likes it. And once we're satisfied with that, we'll close up.
In a DBS operation, everything from the top of the head back, where the surgeon is operating, is sterile. However, everything from the face forward is not sterile, and the reason for that is that we actually use the information that we glean from having the patient awake to trying to get the position of that stimulator correct. The reason that that is so important is that the difference between success and failure in this procedure can be as much or as little as a half a millimeter.
Anchored it in place and sewed everything up, and she now has the electrode in the brain. There's some swelling and inflammation a little bit around where the electrode's implanted in the brain, so we wait for that to go away before we would turn it on. It's not plugged into anything yet anyway, so there's just that wire that's anchored to the skull at where it goes through the skull, and then what was hanging out up here, and I tucked it under the scalp, put a dummy connector on it, so if I feel right here, I can feel a bump. And then we took everything off, sewed up the incision, put some staples in the skin, and we'll watch her overnight. If she looks good in the morning, we'll send her home tomorrow.
It has been 6 weeks since I had DBS surgery. As you can tell, I'm no longer dyskinetic. When I first realized
that the dyskinesia was gone. I was scared to tell anybody because I was afraid if I told that it would start back again. But I realized that I needed to speak out about this wonderful surgery that I had.
When Kay speaks to a group of people, especially patients that have these same diseases and Parkinson's, they relate to her, they listen, and they're touched, they're personally touched. And the other thing is, the most important thing is, they're motivated. They are motivated to get out there and find the best care that they can do.
I know now that I will be able to teach my little boy how to tie his shoes. I can cut my own food now, and I can dress myself. I have a future that I have to look forward to, and I'm going to dance with my husband, and that's the most important thing.